hello you bearded bastards, and welcome back once again to Milpagust, Waddlesquash, where at the current time it is the 9th of Limestone, 403, early autumn, and we have some very, very good news. It looks like the caravans have just arrived to trade, something we've been waiting eagerly for. Now, I'm still a little unsure of what we have to trade. It doesn't look like we have much, though. Only a single barrel of prepared meals. Hoping that does the trick, though. I'm sure it will. We'll be able to get something from it anyways. We don't really need all too much, though, so yeah, it'll be fine. Just gonna take a few moments for these traders to get into place. They've got to unload their stuff at the trade depot and all. And you know, while the traders get settled there is something I'd like to bring up. A little disturbance we noted lately. Just about a week ago or so, we noticed something skulking around in the forest. A thief. They snuck in from the southwest, and we only caught a brief look at them, but it looked to be a strangeling, a catling specifically. Try to sneak in here and take our stuff. More of a nuisance than anything, really. I don't think it could have done much to us. It didn't have any weapons and was totally nude as well, so fairly unconcerned. In any event, our smaller pumpkins were able to chase it off. They seem to be far more aggressive than I imagined them being, so we're gonna keep that in mind. Maybe those little guys could be used as watch pumpkins. Anyways, looking back down at our trade depot, looks like those merchants are in place. Got all their wares on display. So, what do you say we do some trading? Let's see what they brought. Now, yeah, all we have to trade this year is a prepared food barrel. This is all the meals that Jarrett's made. It's not worth all that much. If we have a look in the barrel, there are quite a few meals in here. Mushroom roasts, garden cress roasts. Most of them are fairly unskillfully made, as we were saying before. And they're all just made with stuff that we foraged from the surrounding woods. So it'll be pretty easy to remake a bunch of these. No worries. But yeah, let's see what we can get. Some nice workable metal would be good. Bronze bars, we'll take that. Take this brass too, might as well. Could do something with it. Looks like they have some stone blocks here as well. We don't have access to any stone as it is, so wouldn't hurt to take some of that. Looks like they brought a turkey hen and a nanny goat. Those could be interesting. Let's see if we could take them. Yeah, they brought a lot of good stuff, a lot of food, clothing, armor, weapons, but we can't really afford any of it. And the last thing I'm seeing here is a gypsum-bound codex, a book. Let's see if we could take that. We're giving them an awful lot for this trade, but it's in the hope that they'll bring more next year. There we go. Yeah, we were able to get all that. Not terrible. And hopefully we can make some windows now that we have some metal bars and stone blocks. I'd say that's pretty top priority. Gotta let some light into our dark old houses. Now then, pumpkins, let's get a little rundown of how Waddlesquash is looking. Down in the middle of things, you can see those three structures. We have the Meng 4 Inn, as well as Brewer Jackie's house, and Cook Jarrett's house. In the middle of those three, you can see the trade depot. Over to the right of that, we built a little wooden footbridge, just so the pumpkins don't have to get their feet wet, you know? We have a fallow field up to the northwest of those. There's so much work to do that we're just getting food from the surrounding forests now. Don't really have the time to till fields quite yet. Up to the north of that, we have the barn coming along. The pumpkins seem to be preferring to work on that first. A smart move, I say. And then over to the east on the other side of the brook, we have the chapel. And it looks like the pumpkins are just starting work on that. Excellent. I'm thinking we should be a good way through these structures by year's end. Really, it's pretty impressive how far these pumpkins have come in just these few months we've been here. It's only just the beginning of autumn right now. Yeah, those pumpkins are working away as we speak. So for now, we'll leave them to it. And back over here at the main settlement, you may notice that we have a few more pumpkins. That's right. One of our great pumpkins and one of our smaller pumpkins have both given birth, each to a single pumpkin. We're not going to discuss how this works, but it's great to see. Some new baby pumpkins. I can imagine it's just a matter of time before we're completely inundated with things. Which, yeah, is really good for various reasons. I still don't know what happens if we butcher these things. I kind of do and don't want to try this out. We'll try that out in a bit. The pumpkins are fairly busy right now. Having a look over here at the barn, it looks to be pretty much done. This is the ground floor, remember? We still have pumpkins at work upstairs, trying to get these rafters in place at the moment. Getting some walls done to the roofs. Trying to figure out where Voli, our head farmer's room, is going to be. I think it's going to be over on the left there. Gonna get him a couple nice chambers for an office and a bedroom. Shouldn't take too much longer. Anyways, while we wait, let's have a look over here where, in the forest, we can see the leaves are beginning to fall from the trees. Guess that means autumn's coming to an end. It's soon going to be winter. The air is becoming crisp as piles of dried leaves begin to collect. It's been a good year so far, can't complain. Still have a few months left though. Let's see what else we can get done. Well, first off, we're taking a little bit of a break from construction. Gotta start to replenish our food stockpiles a little bit. We're not in any danger, but it's probably for the best. Over here we can see Voli Aridine, our farmer, on his way to tap some more pumpkins. Gotta get some more of that cider. Soon enough we'll have the pumpkins stored away in their stalls inside the barn here, but we need some ropes first. Gonna take a little bit more time. I've been keeping my eyes open to see if Cook Jarrett's has turned the cider into anything, but I haven't seen any progress yet. That's fine though. I'm sure it'll happen at some point. We'll keep watch. Speaking of which, how about we have a look to see how she's doing? She's currently at work making some more meals. Again, we have to replenish our stocks. All of our cooked meals were traded away when the merchants were here. I believe her skill's improving a little bit. It should be anyways. We've been toning down the number of ingredients we've been using in meals, just so she can make more of them. I figured she'd get more practice that way. She's been working on stews lately. As such, how about we have a look to see what her latest meal is? Well, it looks like we have a garlic bulb stew here. 2 portions. The ingredients are well-minced pumpkin, well-minced garlic bulb, and well-minced garlic bulb. Hey, okay, that's not too bad, right? Got some hearty pieces of pumpkin, well spiced with that garlic, plenty of garlic too. Yeah, that might do the trick a little bit better than that donkey lung meal. Hey, alright, that's good to see. Still really can't wait to see what she does with that cider. That'll be very interesting. Anyways, keep at it, Jarrett. It smells great. One more pumpkin I'd like to check in on is Pastor Chert over here, at work making those pumpkin ropes for the great pumpkin stalls. Now, on top of being pretty excited about getting close to having the chapel completed, Chert here is over the moon due to her new relationship. That's right, her and Whiten, our leader, are now together. Isn't that something? We have Whiten, our leader, arm in arm with our religious leader, Pastor Chert. That means now we have 2 couples here in Waddlesquash. Jarrett's the cook and Hafe the butcher, as well as Whiten and Chert here. Hey, who knows, maybe before next year's out we'll have some children waddling around. That'd be very cool. Eager to see Waddlesquash begin to grow like that. Moving away from the pumpkins for a little bit here. Over to the west of the settlement, you can see these 4 wooden beehives that we've set up, and each has its own colony at this point. Voli Aridine's been seeing to it. Took care of it without any problem whatsoever. Now, we're going to be harvesting products from only 2 of these hives, and the other 2 we're going to be splitting, so we can repopulate the 2 that we take products from. I think that'll work out pretty well. I've yet to see any pumpkins actually collect honey from these, but probably just take a little bit more time. Not too concerned. Figured I'd just keep you updated, really. It's a process well underway. Man, goodness, would you look at that? The winter has already passed us by. We've been so busy working that we hardly noticed it. Of course, it probably also helped that it never snowed. Maybe it just doesn't snow in this area. I guess that's fine. Not complaining, certainly. Well, it looks like we're going to be starting in our 2nd year now. And look how far we've come already. These are some hard-working pumpkins, that's for damn sure. Waddlesquash is looking very nice. We now have 5 fine structures, and almost all of them are completed, like our barn over here. Got the lower floor all completed now, 8 stalls for great pumpkins. We do have some ropes made at this point, just gotta put them in place now. You can see Voli at work in one of his workshops as we speak. Good to be out of the rain, I'm sure. Down to the south there you can see a little dining room for the guy, his own personal place. Plenty of storage in there. And then up above here you can see his bedroom down to the south. Small, but it gets the job done. And up to the north of that you can see his own personal living area, an office if you will. And over to the right you can see up above the stables, bunch of rafters, not much in there. And then up above that you can see the roof. Of course it's all completed. Looking good too, very proud of this structure. Can't wait to get those pumpkins in, soon enough. And then over this way on the other side of the brook you can see the chapel to Mengfor. That's getting there too, pretty much finished. Just getting some furniture in place as we speak. Down here at the ground level you can see the entryway, as well as a stairway leading up through the steeple, as well as the main congregation area with some pews in place, an altar. And in the back we have a dining room for Pastor Chert. We decided her office is going to be out here in the main meeting hall. Looking up above that you can see the sloping roof, as well as a stairway continuing up through the steeple. Above that you can see the roof. The stairway continues. Above that you can see the top of the stairway into the steeple. And then above that you can see some pumpkins getting to work on the steeple itself. Almost done. Just gonna bring it up a little bit higher. Gotta make sure Mengfor can see it from up on her cloud throne high in the heavens. Praise be to her festive guidance. May this next year be just as productive as last. Oh, here's something strange. Strangelings, actually. Looks like we're receiving a caravan. I didn't expect them to show up like this, actually. I mean, might be foolish of us to assume that one that popped up was in league with these guys here. but I guess you never know. Strangelings. True to their name, they're a strange lot. Looks like there's only the 2 merchants here. Probably don't have a whole heck of a lot, frankly. They're a batling and a catling, like that thief there. And, yeah, I guess we'll just do some trading. Not sure what we have. Another prepared food barrel, probably. We'll see what we can do after they get in place. Well, let's see here. What do you got, strangelings? Going down the list here and noticing a lot of their items are fairly rustic, old-fashioned, I guess we could say. Natural, they might say. Bows and arrows, crude barrels made from tree boles. I got some animals here. Nothing we can make use of, really. Though it does look like they brought some nuts and fruit. That could be pretty darn handy. Yeah, what the heck, we'll take that. Hazelnuts, peaches, apples, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, we'll take it all. Oh, and that's interesting too. Buried underneath all this other stuff is an emerald pedestal. Certainly catches the eye. I don't know why they'd have that, but yeah, we can afford it. This prepared food barrel we're trading is worth quite a bit, actually. Now let's see if they'll accept it. And they did not. In fact, it looks like we've upset them quite a bit. Guess I must have forgotten that these strangelings are fairly natural people. As in, they don't appreciate our disrespect, I'll put that in quotes, of the tree that was used in the making of this barrel that this food is in. Well, suit yourselves, strangelings. I don't know what to tell you. Hoping this doesn't cause too much friction between our people, but I suppose time will tell. I don't know what you guys expected coming here, really. Just a shame. Oh well. So be it. Yeah, they're packing up and leaving. Anyways, we have work to do, pumpkins. Let's get back to it. And I suppose since our current construction is coming to completion, we should plan up some more buildings. Still have a couple more we have to get in place. Like over here by the chapel. We're gonna need an actual house for Pastor Chert. Nothing big either. Very humble. She already does have a dining room and an office inside the chapel, so it won't have to be anything fancy at all. We'll just kind of do it like this right here. Very small. Not gonna even have an upstairs, I don't think. But we'll see. Maybe we'll put a little bit of something up there. This'll do the trick just fine though. And with that, let's think here. Waddlesquash needs a few more buildings. And I think we'll start with the Woodsman's Lodge. Glur has been one of the most useful pumpkins here, and he's been without an actual home for an entire year so far. That can't do. And so we're gonna pick him out a nice place down here by this brook, I think. The guy's very tranquil and enjoys natural areas and just natural beauty in general. So I'm thinking, yeah, we'll pick a place down here, apart from the settlement, so he could just be by himself. And I can't imagine it'd be very big either. Just gotta chop down some trees here, then we'll get a better idea of the space we have to work with. And yeah, it looks like I lied. definitely lied. Just kind of took it and ran. As the chief architect here, Glur, I guess maybe, just got a bit creative with his house. It's gonna be big. It's a big structure. Plenty of room for a nice workshop, a kitchen, personal dining room, office, bedroom, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it'll do just fine. I mean, it's out here by itself. And as I said, he's been extremely useful in the foundation of Waddlesquash here. So I think it'd be perfectly proper, frankly. A nice little cabin in the woods for him. Or big cabin in the woods, I suppose. Yeah, we'll get to work on that right now. And in the meantime, well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to start planning up some other structures, eh? Trying to keep track of the time, but it seems to pass extremely quickly when we're building like this. Right now it's the 26th of Slight, mid-spring. I'm gonna try to keep you updated on that as we go. Now if we have a look down here, I just started building a new building. An explanation first. We need a house for Hafe the Butcher. And you know what? We're gonna make this a double function house here. I think we'll put a butcher's workshop for him maybe outside. It's gonna be a bit of a sizable house, I think. Actually, you know what? It's gonna be a triple function house. I'll explain more in a minute here. Let me just get it up. Okay, well, this here is what we're gonna be working with for the time being. We have semi-constructed already, just because I was trying to, mentally parse how it's all gonna fit together. Not the biggest structure, but you can see over on the left there, that's gonna be Butcher Hafe's maybe bedroom, dining room, something. And then over on the right, we actually have a water wheel in place. That's going to lead to a mill. Yeah, we're gonna make there be a mill in this building. Gonna be a little loud, but it's fine. We'll give him a nice sturdy door in between. And not that butchery has anything to do with mills, but he's still going to be helping out, so it's going to be fine. And up to the north there, the northeastern part, that's going to be an outdoor workshop. We're going to get a nice overhang there, but that's going to be for his actual, butcher workshop. I think that'll be nice. Got the overhang there, so he's not going to get rained on when he's outside. Plus, we're going to keep all that stink outside, any sort of associated stink. Going to work out pretty well, I think. Now, would you look at this? Over here by the barn, it looks like we have another batling thief. Oh, and a catling as well. 2 of them. Well, it looks like we scared them off easy enough. Those strangelings. Again, they were nude. They weren't armed or anything. Just trying to sneak in to see what they can get. We should probably get some of our more important items indoors so they don't actually steal something important. We only have 2 mining picks and 2 axes here to cut down trees with. We could trade for more in the future, but if they take them at the wrong point, then we're going to be without an important tool for a majority of the year. Not something we can afford at this point. Now, I said we're going to make a mill, right? But for that we need stone, and we don't have any appropriate stone to make a millstone with. So over here, down in the southwest, we have Whiten carving a little, like a hole in the ground. Pumpkins aren't good miners, so we're gonna go with a sort of a quarry thing here. Completely open air, and we're working our way down gradually. Though, oof. At this point, we're maybe, I don't know, what, 15, 20 feet down, and there's still no stone. But in good news, it looks like we've discovered where the aquifer is. Maybe 20 to 30 feet down in this red sand layer. A light aquifer. Gonna take note of that. We can make a well here in the future, but we're gonna have to get past this if we want stone. We'll just widen it up a little bit and continue down just a bit farther. I'm sure the stone is right at hand. Oh, hey now. Here's something cool. Looks like the humans have arrived to trade. Again, not something we expected. We're such a small settlement. We haven't really been here for that long in the grand scheme of things. Yet we've already gotten caravans from both the humans and the strangelings. Well, that is good. Let's hope they're a bit more, reasonable than those strangelings, eh? I'm sure they will be, though. Again, we'll just let them get in place and then we'll peruse their wares. Okay, let's see what we're working with here. It looks like they brought a pretty wide selection of items. Just trying to figure out if we need any of it. Really, it seems to be fairly mundane stuff. Stuff that we can make ourselves. But you know, it might be nice to get some of these books here. We'll see how many we can snag. Hey, there we go. Okay, we got 4 books from them. And all it took was, again, all of our prepared meals. Well, luckily it's getting easier and easier to replace our stock of them. Jarrett's cooking skills have improved immensely. Oh boy, in other news, it looks like those skulking thieves have returned once more. Chased them off. Those little tricksters. I can't imagine them ever actually stealing anything. They don't seem very sneaky. We'll just have to keep our eye holes peeled. Actually, as a side note, something I noticed, if we look at our civilization menu here, we could see the town of Cremation, that's our people. The squashed pumpkin, that's us. The contingent town, that's the humans that traded with us. And then we have these 2 strangeling civilizations. The Thimble of Demons and the Forest of Quills. The Thimble of Demons are those tricksters that keep sneaking in. Bunch of rogues from the looks of it. The Forest of Quills are the strangelings that got angry at us because of that whole barrel fiasco. Good to have that sorted out. Might have to do something about those Thimble of Demon strangelings. That's the 3rd time they've showed up this year. Can't have them getting too audacious. We are just a small group here. We'll put some thought into it, I suppose. And yes, back to our constructions. I knew this was going to happen. Time is sailing right on by. Autumn has come. I think I just told you that it was spring, but those humans came. That was summer. Most of our summer was spent constructing. Had an awful lot to do. But as you can see right here, the mill is pretty much done. We don't actually have a mill in place yet. We're still working on getting some furniture in place, actually. But it is getting there. We do have stones now for the mill, so that won't be a problem. Plenty of mechanisms and stuff that we need that stone for, too. So we managed to get a little bit more than we need. But yeah, you can see the wheel is turning in there. The rooms are completed. And if we look upstairs, we didn't even talk about the upstairs before. But if you have a look up there, there's a nice large area. This will be just a living area and bedroom for Hafe the Butcher. A lot of space in there, though it is still a bit dark. I know I said getting windows was top priority, but it really hasn't been the case. Top priority is getting homes for our pumpkins. We'll get to windows before long, though. No worries. And then if we have a look way out here in the forest, you can see our woodcutter's mansion. Coming right along. It's taken the majority of the year to get this one building done. Really a lot more time than we bargained for. I think we might have to hold off completing it for a little bit just because these pumpkins need a rest. There hasn't really been a lot of downtime this year so far. But again, yeah, it's getting there. If we look upstairs now, well, you can see the 2nd floor is underway. But we still gotta put a roof on this thing afterwards too. So yeah, we've got a ways still. Might have to hold off for a bit. We'll report in when it's done though. In the meantime, it looks like our pumpkin people have returned with their wagons full of goods. Always good to see. Yep, come right on in, pumpkins. We're gonna really skim through this trading from now on, I think. Unless we get something really interesting. Something like this right here, actually. We did trade for it and are now in possession of this copper blunderbuss. Really basic quality, but Might be enough to scare away those strangelings next time they're about. We'll have to see if we can get one of the pumpkins to learn how to use it. Might be worthwhile, eh? Certainly don't want anything bad happening to our friends here. After all, we've only just begun. And with that, we're going to shift over and start talking about some behind-the-scenes things. Hey, that was another peaceful episode, huh? Not too shabby. I mean, we do have some friction with our neighbors, apparently. Those strangelings, for one. But the humans seem alright, so that's good. I never really know what to expect. Like, I didn't expect to see a strangeling civilization acting like thieves, which is typically how kobolds act in Dwarf Fortress. But then they're also acting like elves as well, like there's two different groups. And both groups are comprised of strangelings, of which there are 3 different flavors: catlings, batlings, and ratlings. It's really neat to see something like that. As for fighting them, I don't know how that'll go, but I suspect these pumpkins are pretty frail in combat, and I'd go so far as to assume they're supremely frail. I don't know if they have bones or muscles or blood or anything like that. I don't think they have blood. And it looks like they're made out of like a spongy sort of mushroom material, like that's how the game reads what they're made out of. I don't really know modding myself, but I did take a glance at like their build and stuff. Well, hopefully when it comes down to it, we won't have to worry too much about fighting at all, but something has to be done about those strangelings, huh? Hoping that blunderbuss is enough to scare them off, but time will tell on that. As for other notes, making above ground structures is really fun. It's neat to like plan out the floor plan of a building and just kind of see it come to pass. Thinking about what rooms they're going to be in a house, thinking about who's going to live there. That's something I really like about these smaller fortresses like this. You really get to dig your fingers in and think about the people who live in your fortress. Pretty hopeful that at some point we can have children, and I think it'll happen too. Again, I really don't know how pumpkins work, but since our livestock pumpkins are giving birth pretty regularly, I assume these sentient pumpkins can as well. Again, time will tell, and hopefully sooner than later. I noticed after that last episode that people were super excited about pumpkins, which is great to see. I've really been enjoying this so far, and I hope it becomes something. Like, I do have a feeling that if it just remains these 7 pumpkins, it'll get boring before long, but I'm certainly not planning on doing any huge growth or anything like that. We'll keep it 7 for a bit, see how we feel, and we'll just keep on trucking. It'd be a shame to leave it off at this point. But who knows? Maybe these pumpkins will get into some really weird stuff in the future. Imagine just a pumpkin town. Town hall, all kinds of city buildings, roads, a whole squadron of pumpkin musketeers. That'd be weird, huh? Or maybe it'll just kind of remain like this. Either way is fine by me. We'll play it by ear. Anyways, my bearded bastards, I hope you enjoyed yourselves today. And I certainly hope to see you next time here in Simple Milpugust. Waddlesquash. And until then, you bearded bastards.